Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the Tuesday NBA slate for Draftkings and Fanduel. We have 6 games on tap for Draftkings. I believe Fanduel just has 5 starting at 7:30. So let's get into it. As always, appreciate you guys hit the like button down below. You can subscribe to the channel if you're going to be here every day watching. You can follow me on Twitter at the DFS Process for updates. Check out the website if you want to join. Link is in the description. And let's get started here. We have 6 games to touch on. We'll start with the first game. We have the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers. The Heat are another team that is dealing with all this COVID issues now that just with looking at their roster, Butler is out for this one. Dragic is out. Nunn is out. They have 8 guys active, probably, maybe 9. But they're going to be super thin. The Sixers are very thin. They're going to get Ben Simmons back, but they're still going to be missing Tobias, Shake, Seth Curry. So this first game is going to be one where you're going to want to have some pieces of, especially from both sides. The Heat side are a little bit more banged up than the Sixers, but both sides you're going to get some value from. And it's going to start with Tyler Hero. On the Heat side, no Jimmy Butler, no Goran Dragic. He's just going to have the ball in his hands the entire game. Probably going to play 40-plus minutes, and we know he's a really productive player in terms of getting rebounds. He has some assist upside as well. He's going to shoot 20-plus times, and you're getting a good shooter that's going to shoot a ton. I feel confident that he'll be able to make a good amount and then probably be one of the best point per dollar plays, even though he's 6,700. You have Duncan Robinson, also a viable option at 48. Isaiah Joe got it done in garbage time last night, 27 minutes, 6 of 9. But they're getting Ben Simmons back. He still looks like a okay value because they're super thin, but you're only going to be getting in the mid-20s minutes from him. And then with Simmons back, and that game did turn into a blowout, so saw a little bit more run in the garbage time. But on the Heat, you have more pieces to like. You have Iguodala is only 3,300. He's going to have to play so many minutes, which I feel bad because he's like 50 years old, but he's going to have to play a ton. You definitely can play him at that price tag, or you can go up to like a Kelly Olynyk. I believe Tobias is out. I don't know. DraftKings still hasn't questionable, but I believe Fantasy Lab said that he's going to be out for Tuesday's game as well. Kelly Olynyk, I think, looks like a decent option at $5,300 just because just going to have to play a bunch of minutes without Bam in the front court. They have like Precious Achiuwa is going to play. He's active. He's going to play a little bit. And then Leonard is questionable. So if he happens to miss, then you'll see Olynyk have to play a lot. It's a tough matchup against Embiid in the front court. So hopefully they start like Precious Achiuwa and he can kind of get into foul trouble against Embiid. And then Olynyk can just kind of shoot some threes. But I think these two I like from the Heat side, and then Iguodala and Duncan Robinson are the third and fourth guys I'd be considering. And then on the Sixers side we have Tyrese Maxey at 5,500, who's been just doing his thing last couple games without all the players on the Sixers. Had 31 fantasy points in 31 minutes last night. Solid value play. And game before that, he broke the slate with 61, even though that game was not even on the main slate. But if you played him in Showdown, you definitely needed him. He looks like another good play tonight at 55, even though Simmons is back, but he's still going to be in the starting lineup. And he has shown to do a little bit of everything out there on the court. So I think he looks like a solid value option. And then we have Danny Green kind of killed killed a lot of people last night. $4,900. Couldn't hit a shot. I will not be going back to that. And then Embiid looks playable if you need to spend up for another guy. He's 97. He's gonna have all the opportunity to kind of just go to work against this Miami team, just with no Bam in the front court. On the Sixers side, I like Maxey the most, and then you could look to like Dakota Mathias as a value play at 39. Moving on to the second game, we have Denver and the Brooklyn Nets here. The Brooklyn Nets are still without Kyrie Irving for some unknown reason. He's still been ruled out with a personal reason, so that's just going to mean Kevin Durant is going to be a great play at $9,400. You should be in the 10K range. You're getting a great price tag on Kevin Durant here. He's playing a bunch of minutes, gives you a ton of upside. Going to be able to have so much more usage without Kyrie out there. And just feel great about paying only $94 for him. Jokic is always a good play. He's not 11,000, so you're gonna need like a triple double out of him. But looks like a fine option if you're wanting to go there. Levert 76. I don't think I'll really get to that price tag. Third game, you have Utah and Cleveland, the game that I don't think looks the most appealing. Drummond is 91. He's fine, but Gobert is not the easy matchup at all. Sexton kind of got the starting lineup and then kind of got scratched. The second time that's actually happened with Sexton, so who knows when he's going to come back. Even if he is back, I don't think you can trust it because it's happened twice, and if you got burned by it, then definitely don't feel good about it. But 6,600, if we kind of get word that he's in early in the day, then he looks like a fine option. Chetty is 6,000. I'm not that interested. Nance is 68. I'm not that interested either. So it's not too much alike. And Dotson at 5,000 is kind of priced where he should be. And the Jazz side is kind of just tough to get to everybody. Moving on, we have the Lakers and the Rockets. The Lakers are in a back-to-back, so we will see. We will see how many if Davis rests again like he did in the last back-to-back. He only played 30 minutes, so not like he was out there for 35, 36 last night, but they rested him the last couple back-to-backs. LeBron's been playing through back-to-backs, also played 30 minutes. So we'll see if one of them rests, then you can go to Kyle Kuzma didn't start the last time Davis rested. He's 54, so if he doesn't start again, then maybe you can just look to like Schroeder or Montrezl Harrell or somebody else because they still have a lot of bodies. And if Kuzma's coming off the bench, then it's still not the best thing. And then on the Houston side, Harden is 10-8. Just not that motivated this season. It's just not putting. It doesn't look like he's just kind of putting his all out there. Hasn't taken 20 shots. That's something that you would expect out of Harden. Like every single game last year was shoot like 20, 25 times. He's only shot over 20 times twice, and it hasn't happened in the last like 4 games. He's been been a little bit passive, letting others shoot and score, and letting like John Wall, Christian Wood kind of take over at sometimes. So I will not be paying 10-8 for Harden. And then Gordon is questionable, so that could open up some value for like David Nwaba if he happens to rest or happens to sit tonight. Moving on, this fifth game is pretty solid to target Spurs and OKC. We've seen the resurgence of SGA, who's been back 3 straight 50-plus point outings out of him. He's been shooting the ball great during that span. It's a fine matchup against a Spurs team that gives up a lot of points, not good against stopping anybody defensively, gives up high 3-point percentage, and just going to be, I think it's going to be a close game with no DeMar DeRozan again tonight. So you're going to want to target a couple Spurs. I think Lonnie Walker looks like a nice option, 54. You saw what he did last time, ended up having him in our lineups, and he did well for us at 46, putting up 39. He took 19 shots. Going to just get a lot more opportunities without DeRozan, a guy that does shoot a bunch. And 54 is still a solid price tag and guy that does have 40-point upside. Diallo's been killing it off the bench. Matter of time before he starts when they trade George Hill, or if they just happen to bring George Hill off the bench. He's been doing great. Definitely part of their future. Keldon Johnson looks like a fine option. Going to play a lot of minutes. He didn't shoot the ball well last game, but still gives you some upside here at 62 without DeRozan. But the guy that just benefits in terms of usage is LaMarcus Aldridge. You get him at $6,300, which is still a bargain, even when DeRozan is active, and then when DeRozan is out, looks even better. So, and definitely like Aldridge, took 21 shots and was really solid out there. Definitely think he can have another solid game tonight. So really, in this game, I'm looking at the Spurs mainly. And then if you want to run it back, I would run it back with SGA. Or maybe Horford has been doing solid at 59, and Hill is 47, so maybe you can look there. And then final game, we have the Pacers and the Warriors. The Pacers on a back-to-back. The Warriors have Steph Curry at 98. He's been up and down. A couple bad shooting games, 2 out of his last 3, but he's still playing a lot of minutes and gives you such a big upside that always in play. Nothing wrong with Steph Curry here. Oladipo is unclear if he's going to play tonight, so that would mean Brogdon would look really good if he happens to miss. He's already 86, so it's not like he's cheap, but you would get value for like Aaron Holiday, Justin Holiday. They'd be a lot more playable. You probably get Doug McDermott, 39, also another solid option. Now you can always pay up for Sabonis at 93. And that's kind of it for the DraftKings breakdown. This first game you're going to want to target, and then the Spurs game. And then maybe if Oladipo misses, you can look at the last game. But let's go ahead and touch on Fanduel now. All right, on Fanduel here, starting off at point guard, we have Curry at 96. Looks fine, but I think Brogdon will look better if Oladipo misses at 84. John Wall is also questionable with the migraine. If he misses, then you'll probably get. And if Gordon misses out well, then maybe Harden would be like a much better option, at least on FanDuel. Murray looks solid without DeRozan at 75. And then you can go a little bit cheaper for like Dennis Schroeder if they happen to sit Davis or LeBron on a back-to-back. So it's mainly it here. I think definitely looking at the John Wall news is going to be important because you're probably going to look to Harden on FanDuel at least if Wall misses. Brogdon looks solid at 84 anyways, but especially if Oladipo misses, Murray looks solid. Right now, I think Schroeder looks like a fine option at 55, especially if you do think that LeBron or Davis sit on a back-to-back. If not, you can probably just go up to DeJounte Murray at 75, gives you a lot of solid upside. Shooting guards, Harden looks solid at 10-4 if John Wall misses. SGA looks great. He's been playing good basketball, 85. Not too many spend-ups, so he will look fine. LeVert, I'm not that interested right now, just with Durant back. Donovan Mitchell, same kind of deal, I think. Like, I'd go up a little bit to SGA. And then you have not too many other options here, besides like Lonnie Walker at 52 looks fine. Maybe Wiggins at 66. Like Horton Tucker if Davis sits. Those will be more interesting, but definitely like Lonnie Walker at 5,200. Small forward, I'm going to be paying up for Durant on FanDuel at 10-1. You have Johnson at 66. You have they keep moving at Cedi Osman. He was power forward yesterday, back to small forward. 51. He's not the most exciting player to roster, especially if Sexton happens to return. And then I maybe look at like a value option if Gordon sits. Like Tate is 4,000. Maybe Nwaba is shooting guard eligible. He's 36. Power forwards, you have Sabonis, 92, looks fine. LaMarcus Aldridge is 72, so a little bit more expensive, but I still think he's playable. And then if you want to go cheap here, you don't have a ton of options. It'd be like Kyle Kuzma if Davis sits on a back-to-back. That would be definitely a way to go. Maybe you can punt with like a Jeff Green or a Doug McDermott if Oladipo sits. So you do have some cheaper options. You do have some mid-priced options like the Draymond, who still like not gives you a ton of upside, but he can kind of fill up the stat sheet as we know he does. So FanDuel, I'll probably maybe make a case for like Sabonis, 9,200. And then center, you have Jokic at 11-4. It's gonna be a little bit tough to get to unless we get some more value on the slate. Drummond looks fine, 98. But Horford looks like a pretty good option here. He's only $5,500. Montrezl Harrell also looks fine, but I do like Horford at this salary. Gets you like decent minutes, high 20s. Maybe can get you into like 29, maybe 30 if he's playing really well. He was in foul trouble last game a bit. But even in 27 to 28 minutes, he's been hitting value. 5,500 is definitely not a tough salary for him to at least get you like 5 to 6x salary, like 5 to 6x upside on, and the matchup is definitely not the worst against the Spurs. So I think he looks like definitely a viable option here. And that is mainly it for the breakdown. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching and best of luck.